What if the thing that's actually keeping you tense and anxious and overthinking is your obsession with control? What if the key to peace isn't doing more, but surrendering? Hey, I'm Jennifer Sack, and I am out there helping those wellness pros regulate their nervous system so that they can teach and lead like a boss who walks the walk, calm, confident, and practicing what they preach so they can get and retain more clients and make more money. I totally understand the need for control, trying to control everything in your environment from day in, day out, today and future experiences. I understand it. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Because we want to feel safe. We want to feel certain. We want predictability. We want to feel in control. Like we are going to make sure everything goes okay. And oftentimes, for those of us who deal in this realm and grip and control, we have like a plan A, B, and C. So we're like going down the thought train crazy. But the irony is, we have very minimal control when it comes to life. There are small things that we can certainly control, absolutely. But the more you experience life and see the continual upsets, the surprises, the things you didn't anticipate, we are reminded again and again that we are not actually in control. And this freaks us out. So we try and control more, we grip harder. And what happens? Our nervous system feels it. It reacts by trying to create more control, which only creates tension, anxiety, overthinking, and you're just basically perpetuating this system of dysregulation. This is overtaking our lives and it's causing a ton of anxiety in us. We are always hyper vigilant, always on guard, always thinking ahead, always applying past situations to the present moment. This is contributing to a ton of our stress. And the irony is, we actually have such minimal control over our lives. We like to think we can, we control all the little things, and then we get thrown off by surprising events, things that other people do that we didn't expect, a flat tire, getting fired, all sorts of things all throughout your day will happen from big to small, where you're like, didn't see that coming. And what does that tell you? It tells you flat out you don't have control. You're not in control of the show here. But yet we continue to act like we have it. And we continue to disrupt our nervous system based on this illusion of control. It's flat out in your face all day long that you don't have it. And yeah, you pat yourself on the back when you set up a situation to go a certain way and it goes that way. And you think, yeah, I did that. But did you? Did you really do that? I beg to differ. So, when it comes to this illusion of control that's totally dysregulating your nervous system, causing you a ton of upset and anxiety, I want you to remember something. Think about all the things and use all the examples all throughout the day that remind you you're not in control. And don't use them in a way to perpetuate more anxiety. Use them as a cue to surrender. Remember, you can't control the external world. You can't control what other people do, what happens in your environment. The only thing you can really control is your inner state. Are you open or are you contracted? Are you present or are you distracted? I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it does, so we'll go with it. You can only control your reaction and how you are in your state, flat out. That's all you've got. And I'm sorry if that causes more anxiety because you're like, but you know in your heart of hearts, you're not in control. So stop with the illusion. Like, let that go entirely. Now, I brought up surrender because that is the main key to unlocking your peace. Surrender. But when we hear surrender, we often equate it to defeat. Why do we do that? Why do we think that surrendering means waving the white flag and being defeated? Because it feels like that. It feels like I give up. I can't do this. You got me. And that feels like we lost in a game. This was a game we were never really playing. We thought we were. That was the illusion of control, right? How can you be defeated if you were never really playing the game? In today's society, we've been conditioned to believe that you have control. There's all sorts of hustle mindsets. There's, take your power back, positive affirmations, manifest anything, all conditioning you to believe that you have control outside yourself. Now, I love energetics. I love manifestation. I love all these things. So it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. And that also is what feeds into why it feels like defeat when we surrender. Because you're like, aren't I supposed to be able to be my boss bitch self and manifest anything and do this and do that? Take my power, own it to an extent. You can control your energy from within with all these great mindsets, but you're living in a falsehood and it's creating a ton of stress in yourself, your inner body, and dysregulating your nervous system. I know surrender feels like defeat, but what it really is you stopping the resistance to what is. Because whatever is out of your control and is going to be presented to you. So you trying to control everything is you blocking that and saying, I don't accept this. This is not what I signed up for, and I want this to happen. It's you assigning all these preferences to everything and then getting pissed off when it doesn't align with that. So surrender is not defeat. Surrender is just you stopping doing that, stopping resisting and blocking everything that's happening and just accepting what is. And then working from within on how you react and what your output is from there. Because you can't handle everything in the moment. Trust me, you will. You always have. You could only ever handle anything in the moment. So you will from here on out. So let's talk about how surrender actually calms your nervous system. How does it support your nervous system of you being regulated and calm and confident? You're like, I feel like if I surrender and give up control, I'm going to be calmer. I think I'm going to be more of a mess. I'm going to worry more. But the opposite is true. You see, when you stop fighting for control, your nervous system shifts out of that hypervigilant state. You're no longer scanning your environment for threats all of the time, which is what you're naturally doing when you are in a heightened state of stress. You can stop the what if game in your mind, running everything over and over because you're just going to surrender to what is, knowing that you can accept and handle whatever comes to you. This doesn't mean that you stop choosing. It doesn't mean you just lie down and take life and go, well, guess that's it. Surrender does not mean you stop making choices. It means you stop with the illusion. You release the illusion that you have control over everything and you trust. You trust that you can handle whatever is coming your way. That's your choice. Your choice is to be present, to choose in the moment over and over again, rather than overthinking every scenario that might happen and being always on guard for every threat that could come. Surrender is actually relief. It's letting go. It's dropping that illusion that you have control over everything. It's relaxing into being carried, into being shown, into being open. It's literally relaxing, not defeat. So remember, if surrender is relaxation, if it's the doorway to peace, it's going to support your nervous system. And I know it comes up with a ton of resistance of its own, but I encourage you to try it. What you have to do is ask yourself, are you ready to loosen your grip? Are you ready to surrender? A lot of times we might recognize that any habit really would be helpful for us, but we don't want to give up that control. We don't want to loosen the grip. We don't want to become a new way. We want to stick with what we know. So you have to ask yourself if you're willing to move into that space, to give up control. Are you willing to relax or are you addicted to this state of hypervigilance? Are you addicted to tension and worry? Is it you? It most likely is. I hate to break it to you. You need to have a moment with yourself to say, can I let this go? Am I willing to let this go? Think about the price you pay. What's the price you pay by not? Is it worth keeping up this illusion of control so that you can think you feel better, that you feel like you've got it all on lock? Or would perhaps exploring releasing all of that, surrendering, be worth the peace, the presence, the regulation of your nervous system, so that you can come into this calm, confident, embodied version of yourself that is trusting and surrendered and present and open. This way you can connect. This way, when you show up for your clients, you are with them, not in your head, not overthinking, not mirroring, not over giving. You are present, and they're going to be attracted to that. You're going to gain so many people who align with that, are ready for that. You're going to retain them because they feel it when in your presence and they want to also learn how to be that way. You're going to be giving so much more than you set out to when you set out to be a wellness leader. We all wanted to help people. You need to help yourself first. And this is the first key. Get yourself regulated, surrender, trust, relax, come into that calm confidence. And that way, when you go out there, your impact will be 10 times what you ever thought it would be. If you want a little help in surrendering, grab my free audio. It's a yes, this too short meditation that helps you just accept whatever is thrown at you because you can and you will. Grab that in the description and any other free resources on my website, jennifersack.com. I have plenty out there for you, free and paid. And I invite you to peruse the rest of my videos out here on YouTube land. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, surrender is the key to peace. Control is an illusion.